Independent client customer Hampton. This is a home remodel that has been completely gutted and new sheetrock and flooring. So there is no RRP lead remediation or lead abatement to test for lead-based paints. First thing I wanted to look at was here on this wall. Basically, you've got a receptacle here that looks like it's for the dishwasher. If you look at the design, you've got an 18-inch cabinet, then a 24-inch dishwasher. That receptacle starts at 17.5 and goes to 19.5. So literally it's from that corner, it's 17.5 to the left side of it, 19.5 to the right side of it. Now this receptacle above is above the counter line, that's not a problem. We're gonna have to work this out a little bit differently for the dishwasher position if we don't wanna move that electrical, but it's no problem. We'll just have to make the sink base just a little bit larger. Here we've got the stubs coming out of the floor. We also have the drain coming out of the wall and a disposer connection. Got a disposer wires here on the wall above it. So no problem as far as that goes. Take a look at some numbers here. On this wall, we are 35 7/8 from the corner to the side of the window trim. If you take a look, this is a 3.5-inch mark for the window trim. Maybe a little bit smaller, but that's usually what we go by is 3.5. So from this left corner to the side of that trim is 35 7/8. If you go 3.5-inch trim left and right, then that window is 43 1/4 inches wide, 43 1/4. The actual here on the ground, the 220 wire for the stove is at 109 inches. Now, one thing I don't see is I don't see anything here above for a range hood. No electrical plug for a microwave, no wire for a range hood. I'm assuming they've left that in the wall. Hopefully that's there. The other thing to look here is 167 inches. And that is from the side of this vent all the way back to the other corner of the room. Again, in this room, there's ceiling molding. It's 93 1/4 inches to the bottom of that ceiling trim to the floor, and the average ceiling height in here is 96 1/4. Let's take a look at the other picture here. All right, now this is the other side of the room. Went ahead and measured across the back wall, of course. Other side of the room. This wall is 142.5 inches total length. On this wall, we've got a plug here for the refrigerator. It is at 44.5 inches from the corner. There's a plug that's down low for the microwave to be built into a cabinet in the base. That plug is 77.5 inches from the corner, and it's 28 inches off the floor. Over here, this is 81 inches. That's the plug that's right above it, and that's above the counter line, so it's not a problem. Coming from the other direction, there is another plug above the counter line that's 30 inches, and there's a double set of switches here at the end of the run. This one wall, 142.5, is our overall for that wall. One thing I do notice here is that even though we have the plug for the refrigerator, I don't have any water lines here. So we usually would have a water box. It'd be like where the valve is for the refrigerator ice maker. And I do not have that in this layout. So if that's something that you're going to want to do, you want to do that before we do the cabinet work. That way it's a lot easier to access the wall if has to be. Otherwise, again, 96-inch ceiling, 93 1/2 to the bottom of the crown molding overhead. And we just need to go back and adjust some things. They had given me some messages about the cabinets here above the stove area that they were going to go with cabinetry above that, I believe, as well. Okay, if you have any other questions, feel free to give me a call. Do notice we have a wire above that, so there's not going to be a valance. It's going to be a light above the window. Give me a call at 423-650-1051. Have a great day.